What's up, everybody? I'm Jonathan. Welcome to Yachtvies. Me. Um, I chose a ridiculous name for my gamer tag. Anyways, I we're gonna be talking about uh, Waybound, Book 12 of Cradle, the big ending, or the big beginning. I don't know. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna try to keep as many spoilers out as possible, but there's gonna be a point where I have to talk about the other books. So I'll try to say as much as I can about book 12 before I do that, and I'll let you know when that is. But why are you, if you haven't read the other 11 books, why are you watching a review of book 12? That doesn't make any sense to me. Anywho, let's jump into this. All right, so Waybound. Well, I guess before I say that, if you enjoy this content, go ahead and subscribe. I talk about everything and anything nerdy. So video games, comics, books, you name it. And I'm dipping into anime as well. Eventually, I haven't done much with it, but I have been dipping into it. So, if you're looking forward to that, go ahead and subscribe. And if you enjoy this video, give us a like. I'd appreciate it. All right, let's jump into this. Waybound. So, I've been waiting for this book for a long time. So I did. You might check out my other videos where I did predictions for book 12, which were pretty vague. Let's be real. But really, I was just talking about the main ideas of what was going to come. There were a lot of stuff there's a lot of stuff that surprised me. Now, my basic review is that it was a good ending, but not a great ending. I actually think that book 9 was a better ending than book 12 was, and we'll get into that when I get into the more spoilery part of this. But there was a lot that I really enjoyed. I wish Lyndon, he was very active in this. I don't know that it's really a problem to say that Lyndon didn't have much development in this book. So every other book, like Lyndon's got a lot of development to do. In this one, he was just doing a lot, and there was a lot more development on the other characters. And I really wish they had. I really wish Will White had reorganized how the last trilogy had been, what the order of events in the last trilogy, because I feel like that would have helped the last trilogy a lot. One of my big disappointments was how little his family was involved. Lyndon's family. There was a lot of stuff that just didn't really feel closed about all of that. And so I was like, you're barely going to mention his family? Like, they were the main reason he left in book 1. Like, because he wanted to save them. And now they're just like side characters. They're like lower than side characters. Like, so I don't know. Like, he promises his sister to build her a weapon and then never does. Like, I assume that he actually did, but like, we don't see it. At least I don't remember seeing it. It's like, okay, that's kind of weird. Yeah, so that happened. So that was kind of annoying. I did like seeing some of the old favorites like Fisher Gesha. I really liked the 8-Man Empire. They were really great in this. I felt like we got to know some of them. I loved the outcome for all of the monarchs. That was great, as well as the dread beasts or the dread gods. I thought that was fun. A lot of the tension was still there about timing. I felt like it wasn't as important because I knew like it would all work out in the end. But like, part of the tension in the beginning is like, what's he gonna do? He's got a dread god coming at him, and the monarchs are basically stalling him so that he would fail. And I'm like, okay, well, it's not quite the same tension that we had in some of the others. Like, it's not. I mean, I guess it is life and death. But when we got there, once the Dread God showed up, I was like, okay, like this is a big deal. So, you know, uh, some of the training montages, which was basically this entire book. The entire book was a training montage, and that kind of like, I wish we had gotten more of this in the other books. So I wish we had gotten Mercy and Yaren and Orthos and Little Blue and Zeal. I wish we had gotten them closer to where they end up in this book before this book, because it would have been much more interesting, I think, than just spending an entire book of them training. You know, book 11 was interesting. They had to all go out on their own and find ways to I guess we're getting into some spoilers, so minor spoilers here. They had to go out into the individual places to get the required stuff for their advancement. And I just feel like I would have enjoyed it more if they had done the training, all the training in book, 11. Or if book 12 pops out and it really just starts off with them hopping out of the pocket world much more advanced. Like, that would have been more interesting to me. And so then book 12 would be more about the strategy of how they save Cradle. So that would have been, I think, I would have enjoyed that more. The other thing that really bothered me is, and this gets into some minor spoilers, so just spoilers for book 12, the whole, the ending. They, after the battle with the Titan, most of the group ascends, and that's because several of them had advanced to Monarch. I said minor spoilers; these are major spoilers. But they go into the Way, and I feel like it would have been, and this is like the last 4-5 hours of the book. I listen on Audible, so I know by hours, but it's a lot of chapters as well. And like, we get these little side quests that seemingly have no point in the book on the crew, and I felt like it would have been a much better ending if we didn't know what happened to them until Lyndon, till he's able to go. And I don't know. I think it would have been a better ending to have like a cliffhanger ending, where Lennon goes into the Way and we don't know what happens after that, which emphasizes that we're going to get more of these characters later on. I'd like to think that we are. I don't know that there's any definite thing, because he did give us like a solid ending where like we meet Lyndon and Yaren's kid in the end, which is okay. Like, I guess I enjoyed a bunch of that stuff, but it just felt weird. Like, it felt unreal. Now, there were a lot of really great things that happened in the book that I thought were really excellent that I did not anticipate. One of them, of course, these are, full spoilers. I mean, I've basically gone into full spoilers now anyways, but just in case you missed it before, there's full spoilers here. We're going to go into the depths. I loved that, what's the guy's name? Martouf or something from the first book? The guy who comes and destroys the Way clan in the very first book, which is the action that causes Serial to come and send Lyndon off on this adventure to begin with. Like, he shows back up because of what's going on in the greater battle in the Abaddon. He shows back up, and he's ready to take over the cradle. And so, but he has to fight Lyndon, an OP Lyndon, and it is great. I was like, that's a great ending. I really appreciated that. Um, all the stuff that happened in that was just fantastic. I was like, no way, he brought him back. Let's go. Just excellent. Just excellent. I also liked that Malice had to die because there was no way for them to convince her to not be Malice. So I thought that was good. I also loved the battle with Charity and the Winter Sage. I thought that was great, where Lyndon fights them and tries to convince them to join him. I was like, this is excellent. One of my favorite lines in the story was when Yaren, I think it was Yaren, it's either her or Mercy, basically tell Malice, like, how can we call you, what do you do to a family leader who's rejected the family, who treats the family so poorly? I was like, that's really good. Yaren finally gets it back at Malice. And really, you see a lot of evolution of Mercy, and I thought that was really good, where she has to confront her fears, namely her mother. And yeah, I wish Pride had a little more in the story, but oh well. One of the things I did like about the Ascension is seeing Uncle Fury again. Here's what I think that the last, like, I think everything that we saw in the if he had done it this way, where all of the stuff we saw in the way once they ascended had been like an appendix, kind of like the Return of the King, where you had like this appendices. If he had done that, where like we don't know anything as far as the linear story goes, until Lyndon steps through, and that's the end of the book. And then there's this appendices where, or he could have written like a small book of short stories. Here's the group in the way. What's going on behind the scenes in the way? I think that would have been a lot better because it just felt weird. I was like, well, this is really cool and all. I like it, but it just like it takes away from the story, what's going on Cradle, and it drug out the ending way too long, and I don't know. I don't know. So I felt like if the end would have been a lot cleaner if we just didn't know what happened after the Ascension. I did love that Lyndon and Dross made a bunch of baby Drosses. I loved that. I do wish they had all gotten their own color. I think it would have been funny if they had all gotten their own name. But one of my favorite parts is when Lyndon and Dross finally ascend, and Dross is like, nobody missed me, and then the red Dross says, I missed you, and Dross is like, that's all I ever wanted to hear. Oh, it's too good. It's too good. I love Dross. So yeah, that was great. And the final battle between the two Dread Gods, I liked it. But what I didn't like about it is it drug on so long. It was basically the middle part of the book was this big battle. And I was just like, okay, we get it. He's still battling. Like, there just didn't feel like enough tension. And I think part of it was because we just didn't like get it was hard to conceptualize what was going on. Is because we didn't really see much. A lot of that battle was really just Lyndon thinking about what's going on. Like every now and then he'd do something interesting, and then like there wasn't. It was more telling than showing, and so we didn't really get to see the battle conceptually. And so, like, we knew this battle was going on, but like one of the cool things about all the other fights is like we kind of see blow by blow, and that's not how that battle happened. And I just felt like that was kind of a shame. I did like that all of the Dread Gods had a voice now, so they all like had a personality, and it kind of showed like, oh, these guys used to actually have minds of their own. Like, I thought that was really interesting. So, um, yeah, one of the benefits of having, I think it would have been better if they had all been powered up and they are hunting the Dread Gods in the Monarchs. I think that would have been better. So I did like all the weapons that Lyndon made. That was really cool. And there was so much to love about this book. I think book 12 has one of the fatal flaws that book 11 had, and that is that there's no Ethan. So, I mean, Ethan is there, but I just didn't really care much about what was going on in the heavens as much as I did about what was going on the ground. I feel like if Ethan had left after book 11, it would have been a lot better. Because one book without Ethan is one thing, but two books without Ethan, I love Ethan. Ethan just brings this awesome dynamic to the group. And Mercy has a joy icon, but we never see Ethan discuss it. Like, when she shows up, he should have been like, "Oh, how I'm so jealous that you got a joy icon, because that's what I was trying to get myself." But no, that doesn't ever happen. Like, why even have her have a joy icon if you're not even going to mention it? Like, like that was the thing that Ethan was looking for. So I was disappointed in that. So overall, I love the book. There was a lot of great endings, a lot of great stories that kind of came around to an end. I do think book 9, has a better ending, because book 9 kind of bookends book 1. So you have them fighting the Wandering Titan. You have them saving his people from the Wandering Titan, which is what drove him to go to begin with, which kind of is one of the reasons why book 10, 11, 12 suffer. Although the labyrinth thing in book 10 was really exciting, book 11 was not as good as book 10. I don't think. I don't remember how I ranked those on that. I'll have to go back and look at that. I think the more that I think about it, like, some books might go in different places, so I might have to redo that with book 12. We'll see if they end up in the same place. I don't know. Some of those will always stay the same. I think book 4, book 5, which is what's book 4? The Skysworn, and book 5, which is Ghostwater. Those are my two favorites, and they kind of flip flop which one I enjoy the most. I think Ghostwater might top it out, might be the best, my favorite, and then book 9 I think is my third favorite. Those three I'm pretty confident on. I really love those 3 books. When I hit book 7, book 6 is really good too. I think book 6 might be my 4th favorite. But so 4, 5, and 6 are the best trilogy in my opinion. But when I hit 6 and 7, I'm always like, I can't wait till book 9. 7, sorry, when I hit book 7 and 8, I can't wait till book 9. That's usually how it goes. When I hit book 1, I'm like, let's get to book 4. So anywho. But I do love the books. I do love all of them. I think even 10, 11, or sorry, 11, Yeah, no, I was right. 10, 11, and 12 are really good. I do think they have a little more flaws than some of the early ones, but he is wrapping up a series, so it is what it is. But those are my thoughts. My biggest complaint is I felt like the training kind of got a little. Uh, I was just tired of the training by the end. I was like, okay, that's great. Can we get back to the action? Like, Lennon's doing something. I'm tired of all this training, you know. Uh, and then I wouldn't have minded a training montage in the beginning. I mean, they're going into this pocket world to train. I just wish it hadn't been so drawn out. But my biggest complaint, other than that, really is the ending with all of the stuff in the Ascension. And I thought it was cool. I just felt like it took away from the rest of the story, and I would have preferred it to be in like an appendix or in like its own little mini book where we're like, hey, this is what happens after they all ascend. I think that would have been a lot more interesting because I wanted this to be more about Cradle than about their ascension. So, but those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Did you love this book? I mean, I love the book. Don't get me wrong. I love all 12 of them. I don't think any of them are bad books. I just like some of them better than the others. But so I do love the whole series. I think it was a good ending, a solid ending. There was a lot of great stuff in there that I just never saw coming. And I thought that was wonderfully done. I loved, one thing I didn't mention that I have to mention, I loved Little Blue and Orthos in their higher, powerful bodies. Little Blue basically becoming a person, as well as Orthos becoming a man. That was hilarious. I loved it. So yeah, those were great. Those are great. So yeah, there were a lot of great things in this book. I think just excellent, just an excellent book. You should read this whole series. But let me know what you think. Did you enjoy this series? Do you think it was a big mistake? Or this last book? What are its flaws? Do you think? Where are you on book 12? Where would you place it among the 12? Do you agree with me that book 9 is a better ending? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.